Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the 2025 Oz Catch World Cup Round of 32 for our very first match here between Germany and Singapore, the 13th and 20th seeds, respectively facing off in the very first round here for this much anticipated beginning of the weekend. I am Maito, and I will be joined for this match, for this battle, by Toph Daddy. What do you think of this one?
I think it's got to be a really good matchup. 13 versus 20 seed, pretty close together, not too much of a seed disparity, and you can see from their qualifier scores that both teams are quite consistent, and even with Singapore being a little bit behind in terms of overall scoring, definitely has a few areas of attack. I'm excited to see where Singapore kind of takes it. They had some really good low AR scores on that hidden 2, and their hidden and hard rock seems to be a little bit more equivalent than the other, than the nomads and DTs. So I think we could definitely see some interesting mod play come out of Singapore, whereas I think Germany is going to be probably sticking with the mechanics, the nomad and DTs here.
Yep, 100%. That's a pretty succinct analysis of both teams. I reckon Singapore definitely probably having that hidden advantage, at least in terms of low AR over Germany, but they have, I believe, Germany. You can't actually see right now, but I think, yeah, they both banned hidden here. Wow, that is quite the interesting turnout, but not too surprising to see, considering how much better Singapore was over Germany on the low AR, and how much better Germany was over Singapore on that kind of normal hidden consistency. So interesting bans to start off. Hidden is off the table, and I guess we'll be getting into the picks in a second.
Yeah, definitely pretty interesting. I am curious to see where Singapore is going to go as far as their pick strategy goes. I did say that they had some pretty good hard rock scores, but Germany also some pretty strong hard rocks. But looks like they were already in their first map. That's going to be DT1, Germany's first pick there of Vitalization. So not too far off on the going for the mechanics picks from Germany here, going for maybe the most straightforward map in the pool outside of Nomad 1.
Yeah, absolutely. DT1 is just total standard consistency, and unsurprising pick here from Germany, although it's even so far. Sorry for the little late start. We had some technical difficulties, of course, to start off. We couldn't be a Catch World Cup without a few things going wrong, and just got them out of the way. So hopefully nothing more should be happening. But a miss from Yun will give Germany the lead.
Yeah, first miss coming out here from anyone. All 5 other players holding on to the full combos. All 3 players on Germany actually holding on to double S. XF and Heating CTB holding on to the FCs, but did drop a droplet or 2 down, dropping that accuracy. And that is enough to give Germany that 28,000 point lead, but one miss is all it could take to even this right back up. That accuracy difference I don't think is enough to really give that big of a difference, unless it comes down to just those droplet misses.
Oh, and there it is. Just as you're talking about it, a drop comes down. The single miss difference for Germany is going to be essentially eliminated, and things are going to be tied right back up. Yun making his way back to 500 combo here for Singapore, but finds another drop, of course, as I say it, and Germany retaking this in around the same manner.
Yeah, and it actually looks like there might have been a bit bigger of a drop on Marmala's side, so getting that miss from A and then now XF as well, dropping the combo, is definitely going to work well for Germany in that case. Might have been a little bit closer if we saw them holding on to the combo, but Marmala does trade it back again, but Germany's still about 1 miss ahead at this point, and we have just the final few patterns of this map. And it looks like Germany, on a strong opening DT1 pick, going to take their first point of the match.
Yep, first point of the match and of this Catch World Cup. They are the first ones to gain the advantage in a match, so a bit of a fun little moment here at the beginning of the tournament, and it's a strong pick from Germany. They did well. A double FC from Lume and Wonderlife. And it's over, to Singapore now. And I wonder what they go for. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a Hard Rock.
Yeah, I could see a Hard Rock coming out. I'd be interested to see if they want to go with those mixed mods, honestly. Maybe go for that mixed mod 2 with the anti-mod pick because of their strength on the low AR hidden compared to Germany.
Mixed mod's definitely a way, as we discuss quite often, for maybe some lower seeded teams that don't quite have the full modded firepower compared to their higher seeded opponents, but they can put in their best mod players on the mixed mod and pretty much even it out, which is why mixed mod is such a fantastic mod to watch. The best kind of mod players from the teams compete against each other. So could be interesting to see that pick come down, but Yang just taking a little bit to decide, which is fair enough. You want to start the match off with a strong pick.
Absolutely you do, and you don't want to give Germany a 2-0 lead to start off this match, especially on what you would imagine is Singapore's strongest pick. Now, I would have expected Hidden 2 to come out pretty much immediately if that stayed open, but with that being banned out, the decision-making tree for Singapore gets a lot more complex because of how strong Germany is at pretty much everything.
Yep, and it's okay. It's actually going to be Nomad 3 here. Interesting decision from Singapore. They go with Nomad 3. Tranquility Resolve, I believe. Which is, of course, our gimmicky map, as it always is. Tons of stacks and doublets all around the shop. This is a real technical test, honestly, in terms of keeping your movement in line. That AR8 CS 4.8. So they must have practiced this one hard, because I think this is a map where a lot of practice really pays off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's a lot of pretty awkward spacing throughout this, so the precision that is needed maybe might be even higher than you would have expected from a Nomad 3 from last year's tournament. Just with the constant changing of the spacing, and then, like you said, those stacks just brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to see this so early on, because this is a fascinating map. It's always awesome to see teams face off on the gimmick and see them go to work. So I think Singapore's definitely going to be able to stick this one up to Germany pretty well. I mean, it's their first pick, so obviously they have to have some confidence. Don't think them taking a little to decide really means that they're not confident. Just thinking which map would be the best to get them off to a good start.
Yeah, kind of a mix between what I imagine is the comfort on a pick like this and their thoughts on how well they'll match up against Germany on something like this. And I mean, we mentioned that Singapore had a great great Hidden 2 score in qualifiers. Low AR is certainly comfortable for them, and I guess they're in the mindset that potentially it will translate into this Nomad 3 pick. And out of all of the Nomads, I do think that this is the best pick for Singapore. So interested to see if they're able to take this and even up the score with Germany.
Yep, and it's just going to be Excel coming in here for the first time. Yang and Yun remaining, but a couple of misses early on out of that bottom left corner for the Singaporeans. All of the Germans doing well, holding on to their FC so far, and they'll gain around a 1.5 miss advantage to start this one off, but that's going to go down with that miss from Marvnello.
Yeah, that's a couple misses too, so it looks like Singapore should be able to take this lead back. Excel dropping pretty much right at the start, so that should actually favor Singapore since they weren't able to, or didn't get up to it. But Marvnello and Excel trading back and forth. Uno for life, the next miss. So 2 FCs on Singapore to just 1 on Germany. Lume trying to hold up the German squad at this point. And Ang, CTB, and Excel both dropping combo there. That's going to even out as Marvnello hits that 200 combo cap. and start moving towards Germany, but it is just one FC to one. And as I say that, Aeon is going to drop it for Singapore. Last FC remaining is Lume for Germany, and they're going to take a lead out of it. And this tough stack section catching 2 players off guard.
Look at Lume go, still holding on to that FC, almost up to 900 combo now, and there it is. But despite that, the consistency from the other 2 Germans is simply not there at the moment. Singapore with around a 1 miss advantage. Hyang and Excel with really nice combos. Yun above 200 as well. Lume trying absolute best to keep Germany in this, and in this last little bit, they do have a chance, but they need to absolutely hold on, and both teams are doing that.
Yeah, all 6 players now above the combo cap. Marvel going to be the first one to break and give Singapore a little bit extra lead. I was going to say it was less than a miss of difference, just about 22,000. But Marvel missing a few times here in this, ending with some more of that awkward spacing, going to give Singapore quite a strong lead, approaching 70,000. And Singapore going to get a strong first pick of their own, evening out the score 1-1.
Yeah, what a great first pick here from Singapore. Doing superbly, really, really good scores, consistent across all, and that's kind of what propelled them forward. Germany just fighting misses as they build up and then dropping that combo again, allowing Singapore to fully capitalize when they were at that max mark. And that's what led them to getting that pretty convincing win in the end by around 70k. So great start here for the Singaporeans against their high-seeded opponents, and it's back to the Germans for the next pick.
Yeah, I mean, on that, even with Singapore's great performance, Lume doing everything they could with that. The only FC in the lobby, but just a really great performance from Singapore all around. And Germany's next pick coming up, that I mentioned that was probably the best Nomad pick for them, and Nomad 4 actually going to come out from Germany right after, going for the Convert pick early on in this matchup.
Yep, we have Hanuninate, I think much beloved song by many. Looking at this pool in the week leading up, so a lot probably excited to see this one being picked, myself included. I have to say, everyone getting down to cat jam to this, and yeah, it's the only convert in the pool. A little bit of an edit for it, but it's definitely converty, that's for sure. Pretty standard convert. It's honestly consistent as long as you have some pretty regular convert ability, and it's Nerfu coming in here for Germany, I believe, as well as XF for Singapore on the convert here to balance the scales.
Yeah, so getting some swap outs on both sides. This team, the same team that we saw in qualifiers for Germany on the convert, a little bit different for Singapore. XL and XF both coming in for qualifiers. Singapore had McButt in as that third player alongside Ying, CTB, and XL, but getting a little bit of a different swap in here for the convert. Probably maybe a little bit difference in the comfort compared to the difficulty that we saw in convert for qualifiers. This one definitely not the most straightforward map. I mean, for people who like converts and play them a lot, I imagine this is going to be pretty comfortable. But you still have a lot of patterns that are just so easy to miss if you're not fully prepared for them. So this is the kind of map that I would think you would need to practice a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, that kind of goes without saying for most maps. So usually practice, the more
Usually,
practice, the better.
yeah, usually.
You know, I would say that it's usually a good idea to not sight read the pool. I mean, some madmen out there like to completely sight read. But yeah,
Certainly
this is definitely
not.
one where I think we might see the practice show off that the combo players for sure going to shine on this, and it's Lume and Marvelmello in yet again, Hyang and Excel as well, but it's actually Hyang the first to drop as well as Excel kind of mentioning then missing, and it's a good start for Germany.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough intro for Singapore there. XF holding on to double S to keep up with the German players. Nerfu could be the first drop for Germany, but it is still 2 full combos to 1, and now not even 1, 2 combos to 0, and Germany is going to have a very big lead coming out of it, about 3 misses of difference already.
Yep, Germany looking really, really nice here. Lume and Marvmello. Marvmello, I think, maybe settling in a little bit. Had a couple of misses early on, maybe not exactly the start they would have wanted, but looking good so far into the first chorus, the first Ki, Excel, another drop. XF is building up for Singapore too, but if those misses keep coming down, it's going to be difficult for them to gain their footing and to start chipping away at that German lead. All of their players was going to say at 200, a miss from Murphy there, but look at Lume and Marvmello.
Yeah, both still holding on to the double S, and Ying and XF both above the combo bonus limit. So at least taking care of that part of the score. Excel trying to build back up. Gonna shrink the lead a tiny bit with that Excel being a little bit closer to that 200 than Nerfu, but everyone's staying consistent. As soon as they hit the 200, Excel drops again. And Germany is going to take an even bigger lead. Though one of the FCs now gone from Germany, Lume, the only player left with the FC in the lobby, trying to pull off another Nomad 3 only FC in the lobby performance. And so far, that is proving to be extremely valuable for Germany, who have a 115,000 point lead up to this point in the map.
Lume doing superbly so far, has for sure been standout player of this match at the moment. Another drop for XL. XF and Hyang are doing superbly. They're keeping their combos up really high. They just need that third player support, and they're not able to get it on this map, at least for now. Still a quarter left to go. Germany would have to fall pretty hard from now to throw this one away, but it's not completely out of the realm of possibility for Singapore, but they need that third place support.
Yeah, definitely need that consistency from itself to start showing up, but at this point you also need a lot of misses from Germany, and that third player support does fall short a little bit with Excel finding another drop, and Germany just showing so much consistency. Lume looking for the double S still. Marvmello does find a drop, but with Excel's earlier drop, that's just going to be a trade ultimately as we hit the final patterns, and Germany going to have a dominant win on Nomad for the conflict here.
Yep. Really, really nice here from Germany. A perfect pick yet again for them. And that is 2 FCs in a row from Lume. Losing that last pick, not quite able to have the support, but it was here in force for Germany. And they go up 2-1, looking strong. And yeah, that's it's scary to see when a player is really feeling it. And you're on the other side, you're thinking, man, it's going to be difficult to take Lume down if it comes to a 1v1 type of situation where two players need to hold on.
Right, and I think even just seeing this kind of consistent from one player, you know, if you're on Singapore's side, you're looking at that and you're saying, we need someone to FC to just neutralize this one player on the other team. And for as difficult as some of these maps are, you don't want that to be the situation that you're up against.
No, you really don't. It's it's a scary proposition when an opposition player is really feeling it in the moment, and yeah, that's definitely what's happening with Lume. Just on a tear for now, 2 FCs in a row, and it is over to Singapore's pick. However, they have a chance. That first pick was really nice to follow that one up with another nice choice, but I wonder what they're going to go for. Could they finally, or could they now venture into Hard Rock, I wonder?
Yeah, I mean, I think avoid Nomad and TT. I think that's pretty much clear for Singapore at this point. I think the decision really is between Hard Rock and Mixed Mod, and if between the two, I think you go either Hard Rock 1 or Mixed Mod 2. Go for the straightforward Hard Rock, or go for the anti-mod, Mixed Mod to keep. And I think those are the two best options for Singapore at this point, but against a team like Germany, you got to be really careful with your picks. And Singapore was and made a great one in Nomad 3 to start this match off for them. But they're going to have to make a few more if they want to keep up with Germany here.
Taking all their time here to start this off. And what do you know? It is indeed going to be a Hard Rock 1. Waiting until the last moment to finally go for this one. And yeah, I think this is a good pick for them. This is just totally standard consistency Hard Rock. There's really nothing of note here. that kind of caught my eye playing through and checking this one out. The Hard Rock players should come in and have a pretty easy time. It's really just a true battle of who can hold their combo.
Yeah, it really is. This is a big consistency test there. There's no real memorization patterns throughout this. The density is high enough to keep reading through most of it, and even if there are a couple patterns that might throw you off, this map does kind of just repeat twice, so most of the map you'll see a couple times, and you'll be able to practice the different types of patterns throughout it. Even on a couple of playthroughs, you should get a lot of practice on them. I expect this to be a pretty pitched battle. I imagine it's going to come down to one or two misses.
Yep. Apart from some complete crash out from one player, I do have to agree with you there. This is hopefully going to be a really close one, which probably isn't exactly what Singapore want for their second pick here. I mean, you want a second pick like Germany had, where they just cruise to the finish line. But yeah, I think this one's going to be close. McButt coming in here for the first time for Singapore as well. His very first appearance for the Singaporeans, and his first miss as well in this Hard Rock one.
Indeed. Unfortunate early miss, but that is before getting to the 200 combo mark. I believe, is this the first time we're seeing Wonderlife as well for Germany? So first time swapping for two players here.
I believe we saw Wonderlife in the very first point on DT1, but hasn't been in at all until now. So taking quite an extended break, and it's a miss from XF2 on Singapore. So Germany off to a really nice start with 3 FCs.
Yeah, really is. That's 2 misses for Singapore, and trying to hold the fort for Singapore. McButt does get back up to that 200 combo mark, as we are starting to approach the first chorus in about 150 combo, where there's a little bit of a difficulty spike and that density starts to increase, but it shouldn't be anything too worth noting. McButt is going to find yet another break, though, shortly after getting to that 200 combo. XF now above 200 combo, but all 3 players on Germany holding the consistency super well, all holding on to double S's alongside the 1 double S for Singapore on AN, and just a few misses being all the difference. Germany needs to take that 80,000 point lead.
Looking super strong and consistent here, Germany. They are only half a map away from taking their first breakpoint, and Yun drops again. XF follows it up pretty shortly, and it's eclipsed a 6-digit lead here for the Germans. They can see that they are completely in control. 3 double S's. Lume on the brink of FCing 3 maps in a row as well, if they can make it through this last little part. I would say the difficulty does spike a little in the ending, so do have to watch out for that. But Germany just totally cruising.
Yeah, absolutely insane performance so far here from Germany. XF going to find another drop as that sort of pretty much just to extend the lead for Germany. 150,000 points, probably about 6-7 misses of difference. So it's going to take a little bit of a collapse, I think, from Germany for Singapore to have the chance to get back into this. But they also need to hold on to that consistency. There haven't been very many moments in this map so far that we've seen Singapore holding on to consistent combo across the board. But they do get 1 miss from Marshmallow, so they have at least a little bit of a way in, though. Going to need a lot more than that, with still 2 double S's from Lume and Wonderlife.
Yeah, the triple FC, the triple SS was not meant to be. Marshmallow can't quite complete it, but ultimately that won't show up on the final scorecard. What matters is that they take their first breakpoint here. Lume with 3 FCs in a row now, full comboing the last 3 points, and has been incredible. 1 miss from Yun, a really nice score there. 2 from McButt. Honestly, pretty strong. It was just, yet again, a 3rd play difference here for Singapore in the end through XF, where he just wasn't able to quite keep up with the other 2. And it's Germany's pick now from the breakpoint.
Yeah, 3-1. gives Germany an opportunity to get this to match point, and they've got 2 nomads available. They got 2 DTs available. I could see them pretty much going for any of them. I might even, I would maybe see DT3 coming out as the general selection. You know, seeing that the stream consistency on Hard Rock goes so well for them, I could see them wanting to go for another stream-based pick like DT3 or even Nomad 2 if they really wanted to. But I'm wrong. They always prove me wrong. They go with Nomad 1, they go with the pure consistency
Okay.
map.
Interesting. Wait, hold on. That's Hyang.
Oh,
hold on just a minute.
I didn't read that right.
It's
Singapore
all
trying
good.
to pull one over on us and
on the casters. Hey man, it's alright. I've made that exact same mistake in multiple tournaments, thinking that it was.
Okay, I wasn't wrong. We
No,
did it.
good job. It's indeed DT3, and this is certainly an interesting map. I'm sure you know it's the low CS map. I think it's like CS 3 point something, and yeah, this is pretty unique. Kind of 2 points to look out for in this one. One kind of around the quarter-way point until halfway, and one like right before this really long slider near the end, where the difficulty kind of jumps through the roof, and that's really where we're going to see the kind of make or break stages of this point. So look out for that one. This is a really interesting map.
Yeah, I mean, we saw from the first DT pick, first map played in this whole match, that Singapore did a pretty good job of keeping up with Germany, a few additional mistakes. So I would almost expect generally to see like full combos up until those difficulty spikes. But those are, like you said, going to be the really important points to look out for because of how much more difficult that they are than the rest of the map. And like you said, CS 3.3, really big circle size, and an AR that doesn't quite hit 10. 8.1 gets to about 9.7, so shouldn't be too uncomfortable as far as reading goes for anyone here either.
No, the reading is pretty chill, and the CS helps out. I think it really helps balance out those super difficult sections where your movement has to be pretty precise, and you really have to get kind of in the flow of this map and know how to move around the patterns properly. So practice, sure. This is another really heavy practice map where you really need to get the feel for it. And I think Germany going for this one, they've most likely done quite a lot of that. And those sections kind of make me scared for Lume's FC streak, to be honest. But let's see if they can pull through, or if Singapore can break right back.
Yeah, and the other side of that too is that because there are those spikes, they do kind of almost come out of nowhere in a sense. So you have to be able to transition from going through the consistency with easier spacing streams, and then immediately be able to swap your play to the much more difficult and precise patterns of those two Kiai sections. And out of the intro, everyone doing well. Wonderlife actually going to be the first drop, so Singapore going to get a little bit of a lead in this easier section. Was before 200 combo going to be a little bit less impactful, but it was pretty close, and Singapore should be able to get nearly a full miss worth of points as a little bit of cushion before the more difficult sections start to come up.
Yep, about 100 combo left to go here. It's around 400 where it really starts hitting those super difficult patterns. And yeah, it's a good start here for Singapore, just able to hold on through this easy section. And we're about to get into the first really tough part. McButt misses just before Yun also goes down. Yang holding on for the moment. And Wonderlife has also built up, so Germany's going to retake the lead. All of their players above that max combo mark. And everyone actually doing pretty well to hold on in this part for now, except for these two early misses. And it's around a 1 miss lead, but McButt finds another one.
Yeah, so it's gonna be about a 2 miss. Lume holding onto the double S yet again. Nerfu holding on to a full combo as well. Like you said, Wonderlife able to recover very well, comboing through that difficult section despite the early drop. Yang trying to keep up with the German players here with a full combo of their own, and I was gonna say was recovering from the single miss in that transition, but does find a couple more misses in Germany in a great spot to take this to match point now. just one more difficult section left to go, and if they're able to perform like they did on the first section, they should be just fine getting through it.
Yep, Lume and Nerfu look super comfortable there. Wonderlife, despite that early miss, has built right back up. Hyang trying his best to keep Singapore in this, but they're going to need a miracle from this point. Not much of this map left to go. It's 93k for Germany. Here we go into the final difficult section. McButt's the first to drop. Lume does finally miss. Can't keep the streak alive, but Nerfu and Wonderlife both above 1k. Nerfu's still, in fact, on that FC. Hyang does the same, but Germany walk away with another dominant victory here on double time. And they go up to match point.
Yeah, an unfortunate drop from Lume to break that FC streak, but Nerfu backing them up, getting the FC for Germany to neutralize Hyang's FC on the other side, and Aeon and McButt just having a little bit of consistency issues, especially when those difficult parts came up.
And Singapore really under the pump now. It's their pick, but okay, well, we kind of saw what they were thinking before, and they don't waste much time here in deciding what they want to choose to keep themselves in the winners bracket for now, to stop themselves getting knocked out for at least another point against Germany. And it's the consistency Nomad 1.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to go for something like this. They did really well in that Nomad 3. They want to pick something that they know that they can hold consistently on, and this, is pretty much the definition of that. And it's a little bit of a rough spot to be in for Singapore, because now you're hoping for misses from Germany. Because I think when it comes to consistent maps like this, it's about, singular droplet misses or one combo break in a random spot in the map, and you don't want to be hoping for that against a team that's shown the consistency that Germany has today.
It's going to be a tough battle here for Singapore. They're going to need to work really hard, and just sorting out their rosters now. You want the players that are just feeling the most confident, most able, and probably even maybe not your strongest players, but just the ones that are feeling the nerves a little bit less and can hold that combo just a little bit more. That might be the deal breaker here, just a couple of misses, because all of the players on these teams honestly can get like easy 950k pluses on this, but it's really about doing it in the match when there's 300 people watching.
And here we go. Singapore's potentially last pick. They're trying to keep themselves alive in the winners bracket through round of 32. Nomad 1, consistency map, 3.5 minutes, so they're going to have to keep that up for a while. And compared to previous years, definitely a little bit more difficult than we would normally see from this. It has a little bit more of that speed element. And Nerfu actually going to miss twice in this intro, give Singapore a little bit of a lead. So, and I mentioned this is the kind of map where it's one miss or one droplet that can mean a lot more than on other maps. And if we're already seeing that miss from Germany come out, Singapore might just be in a great position to start running away with this if they can hold the consistency.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good start here for Singapore yet again, keeping all of their FCs. And Nerfu's actually dropping, which will mean a lot more. Those early misses not quite allowing Singapore to capitalize as much as they would hope, but that drop there from Nerfu just for this first KI here, giving Singapore around a 50k lead. All of their players still on FCs, as well as Lume and Wonderlife on the other side. And it's a drop from Excel. Oh no.
Excel is going to find that drop, so 2 FCs to 2. I don't believe that's going to be enough to give Germany the lead. Nerfu's been missing quite a bit, but XF missing is going to get rid of another one of the FCs for Singapore, and Germany is going to start clawing that lead back. Nerfu and Wonderlife are both going to drop, though, so Lume the only FC on Germany, Hyang the only FC on Singapore. It is 1 against 1 right now as more misses continue to come out from Germany, and Singapore taking a 50,000 point lead in this second chorus.
Yep, Lume and Hyang battling it out for the moment. Two of the standout plays here for either team. Lume, for sure, has been incredible and is holding Germany just in this one for now. Keeping that consistency going. XF and XL building their combos back up as well. It's going to be yet again around 50k here for Singapore in the guitar solo. Will there be any more drops? Or will we have to wait until the next Ki? Any drops could decide this one. Germany needing a lot here from Singapore. But everyone holds on.
Yeah, it looks like about a 3-miss lead, 2 to 3 miss lead for Singapore at this point. As we hit the final Ki of the map, everyone getting that consistency back under their belts. Lume and Hyang still the only 2 FCs on the board, canceling each other out for the time being. And Wonderlife is going to be the first miss in this last chorus. Singapore going to build up that lead even more, as we have just about a quarter of the map left, a little bit less so than that. The chances for Germany to close this match out dwindling away on this Nomad 1 pick, and looking more and more like Singapore might be able to take that second point in the match and keep themselves alive.
They just need to hold on for a little bit longer. That's all they need to do. Just keep their combos for the last around 20 seconds of this map. The final section here. Nerfu finds a drop. That is the dagger for Germany. They will lose Nomad 1. Singapore takes it. Their second point here. And what a time to do it. On consistency, they prevail. And they keep themselves in it by around 100k on the dot here. And what a time to do it here for Singapore. And an amazing FC from Hyang.
Absolutely. Keeping their winners' hopes alive here in the round of 32. 4-2. It is going to go back to Germany's pick, though, and they have a few potential options. There is that Hard Rock 2, which Germany did quite well in qualifiers on. They've still got a DT map, and they could dip back into Nomad if they felt comfortable on Nomad 2, though, seeing that Nomad 1 might push them away a little bit.
Yep, I would not be surprised to see DT again. I feel like they're just generally pretty confident on double time in general, at least compared to Singapore. So would be pretty expected to see something like that. But honestly, all of the maps remaining except for maybe the mixed mods, I think definitely do favor Germany. Even that mixed mod one, I would probably put them a little above Singapore. So it's going to be a difficult battle from here for Singapore to make it to that tiebreaker, which that's their only option at this point. They need to make it another 2 points down.
Don't roll the pick.
No way they're rolling for the pick.
Well, 3 says DT. 3 says DT2, I think.
It does. Is that what... Wait, no, but Wonderlife isn't the captain here, though, to be fair. No. I think Marvel is the captain, right?
Let me double check that.
I'm pretty sure Marv Mello is
the captain of Germany. They go with Nomad 2, so they don't even roll the pick.
They actually decide to lock in and think it through, and that's all of the Nomads exhausted now. Nomad 2 here. This is another pretty unique map, not your standard kind of tech pattern-y type of Nomad 2 with a lot of kind of wiggles and anti-flow.
Yeah.
It's a lot more like a convert, I'd say.
I think I would agree with that. It's quite stream heavy, but the ladder control you need through the streams is pretty heavy, much like what you'd see in a convert, just maybe a little bit more comfortable. Pretty important to note too is that this is Germany's last pick. It doesn't matter what happens from here on out. Germany won't get another one. So if it has to be their strongest, it has to be what they feel the most confident on. But if Singapore wins this, it goes to Singapore's selection, and they get to choose what they want before either Germany takes it or they go to tiebreaker. So this is a huge point for Germany here.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is definitely a difficult one to go for. I feel like if you're not feeling super confident on the day in terms of Nomad 2s and maybe this really difficult mechanical control type of pick with a lot of micro movements to kind of stay on the path of each section. If you're not feeling super confident, it's going to be difficult to keep up with the other side, but I think that kind of goes to both. So interested to see how this one goes. Germany's still with an opportunity to take this match away here, but Singapore not going to go down without a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned that this is kind of comparable to a convert, and Germany had an incredible performance on the Nomad 4 earlier in this match, so you'd expect them to have the advantage, but with the slightly more straightforward patterns, not super, not quite as spaced as you might see from the Nomad 4, there definitely is an opportunity for Singapore to kind of have a way in on a pick like this.
Yep, it remains to be seen in these next 2 minutes and 23 seconds of Nomad 2. It's a chill start for both teams, expected to see them all hold on until we get into the first pretty tough section. Here we go, Marvmelon, the first to drop actually, as we get into these wiggles, and actually it's Wonderlife as well as XF, so a 2-to-1 trade here in advantage of Singapore, and another miss here for Wonderlife. Right now it's Excel and Hiang who are both holding on to their FCs compared to just one on Lume for Germany.
Yeah, so 60,000 points of lead, 2 FCs to 1. Marvmelon and Wonderlife did not have a great start to it, but both are now above 200 combo as the more consistent streams start to show up. Difficult stream patterns, not catching anyone off guard at this point, and we're seeing Wonderlife with the drop there is going to help Singapore increase that lead, but XF is going to trade that back, and actually looks like maybe a little bit bigger. Oh no, Excel also dropped at the same time, so Singapore's lead shrinking quite a bit here, down to 30,000 points, and looks like maybe even just one miss worth of score difference right now for Singapore.
Yep, it's yet again Hiang C2B versus Lume, and it's another drop here for XL, although Wonderlife missing just before that. Marvmelon also goes down. Singapore's lead extends out here, actually. XF and Hiang holding down the fort for Singapore. Lume doing their best to keep Germany in Nomad 2, but the map is coming to a close, and I think, our beloved viewers, we are going to another point here. Singapore's pick as well. What a performance here from Singapore on a really, really difficult map under the pump. When they need to perform, they get it done, and it's only a single point away from the tiebreaker.
It certainly is, and Singapore gets that pick. There are 3 maps left in the pool. We've got DT2 available, and then we've got both mixed mods available. And I think there's one pick in particular I think they should go for. I've been saying it for pretty much the whole match, but Mixed Mod 2 feels like a no-brainer in my eyes for Singapore to go for. But Mixed Mods, kind of by definition, are always going to be risky, because even if they do give lower seeds the opportunity to kind of get their best single mod players in on each of the maps, that also means that your opponents get the same opportunity. And Germany, very strong one way or another. So if they want to go for a mixed mod, it's still going to be quite a high-risk pick.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of like that Nomad 2 where Germany was gambling on Singapore not being able to kind of find their technical abilities as well as themselves. And yeah, it didn't pay off. Didn't pay off for Germany. It kind of fell apart near the end there. Singapore had a really nice team score as well. I mean, 2.9 mil on a map like Nomad 2, when you're down match point, is a pretty unbelievable performance. That really was incredible. Definitely a highlight to start this Catch-All Cup off here. And I think everyone's back for Singapore's next choice. Of course, they don't have much left. Hard Rock 2, DT2, Mixed Mod 1 and 2. And it's probably going to be a Mixed Mod, I reckon. But every time we predicted something here, it's not being correct, so I don't even know what to say anymore.
In Mixed Mod 1 it is.
Let's
so that's about what you expected. I would have expected Mixed Mod 2 to come out, personally. but makes sense to stick in that mixed mod pool as the final regular pick of this match. Either Germany wins it or we see the tiebreaker in the first match of round of 32. But this map is pretty interesting. It's it is kind of the only fully technical map of the pool, which is interesting to see as a mixed mod selection.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, this is the mod friendly one as well. It's only CS 4.9 for Hard Rock, and it's AR 9.3 for Hidden, so really not a difficult reading challenge at all for either. This is also a fantastic song as well. I just have to mention too, and a great map by AFB. I think this is awesome to see, where the stakes are so high between Germany and Singapore. Singapore is 1 point away from tiebreaker. The question is, can they do it? We've seen them pull through on the consistency before, and consistency is for sure needed on a map here like Mixed Mod 1. And a couple of lookouts as well, I think, for both teams. I believe Yun coming in here for XF, and Nerfu coming in for Marvmello. Lume staying in. Lume's been in for every single point, by the way. The only player to have been in for every single point.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how this ends up going for the mods. Okay, it looks like Excel's taking Hidden, Yoon is taking Nomad, and Hiang is taking Hard Rock, and the same positions match up for Germany. So Lume, Hidden, Wonderlife, Nomad, Nerfu, Hard Rock.
Yep, those will be the battles here for both teams. Nerfu against Hiang, Excel against Lume. Wonderlife versus Yun. Those Nomad players still probably having a little bit of responsibility just to keep that combo, because of course this map is a little trickier, modded, at least for most players. So maybe a little bit of extra responsibility they're feeling on their shoulders. But a super chill dart for this, although actually it's Nerfu who finds the first miss.
An early break for Germany. Singapore going to take a small lead to start off. Everyone else above 200 combo. That is a miss before 200 combo, so it's not going to be a full miss worth of score difference to be given to Singapore as advantage. And Nerfu hitting that 200 combo now, so things are evening out. 23,000 points a quarter into this map.
Yep, everyone else maintaining their FCs, actually double S's. Everyone is holding a complete accuracy for now, and a small lead for Singapore, but things could all change as we make our way into this next section here. Kyo coming up in a moment, and it could all change with a single miss, but everyone's showing really strong consistency up until this point.
Definitely are. Just that one miss coming out from Nerfu really early on, but we're going to get into another difficult section here. Technical patterns coming back to haunt you, but everyone holding the consistency. We do have a three-way double S on the side of Singapore, two double S's from Germany, just the miss being the difference right now. And that lead has not changed at all. Super consistent from everyone here as we get out of this technical section into a little bit more straightforward of a section. And everyone just looking so strong on this pick.
Yeah, this is an absolute nail-biter. Can Singapore hold on, keep those FCs until the end? That miss from Nerfu might be the decider here for Germany. No, Lume, who has been so consistent for the Germans, falls. And Excel is still holding on to that hidden. Nerfu finds a drop as well. Singapore are looking poised to bring this to a tiebreaker. They're still holding a three-way. Oh, it's actually... They're still holding a two-way. Still holding a two-way FC.
Have one more section to get through. Two-way FC, Ian and Hiang with the Nomad and Hard Rock. Wonderlife holding on to the FC on Nomad for Germany, but 50,000 points means that a few misses are needed in this end section, and it's getting closer and closer to the end. Only 40,000 points of available score left, and a double FC nearly may just give Singapore the tiebreaker.
Unbelievable comeback here from Singapore. They looked down. They looked like they might just be out, but they weren't. They fought back. It's 4-4 suddenly, winning the last 3 points in a row. And Germany not able to consolidate any of their match points. That might hurt them here on the tiebreaker, on No Hints here by DM Dokuro. And wow, what a journey this match has been, Toph.
Yeah, I mean, Singapore was performing well, but they didn't have quite the consistency that we were seeing from Germany, and Lume was looking to be kind of an unpenetrable force for the German side, and then something changed, and Hiang started FCing everything. And I mentioned, when you see someone like Lume performing like that, you need to have someone just neutralizing them, and Hiang has been that neutralizer, and it's just been players 2 and 3 for Singapore getting that consistency back up and doing just enough to get themselves back in and come back from a 4-1 deficit. Absolutely insane performance from Singapore so far.
Yep, that is so important to point out, actually. I feel like maybe we weren't giving enough credit to Hiang, who has FC'd, the last 4 maps in a row. We were talking about Lume's FC streak, but Hiang has been absolutely incredible. The captain standing up, playing a captain's battle when it mattered most for Singapore, and unbelievable that we have reached this point in the match where Germany looked like they were just taking control of things, taking it 4-1, and I can't believe that we're now at the tiebreaker, and this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely interesting. This tiebreaker a little bit different than normal tiebreakers. It certainly is a change in form compared to what we normally see. I think the biggest difficulty of this is the consistently changing BPM, so you can't necessarily get comfortable on a map like this.
No, you really can't. The map changes all over the place. It jumps around between songs all the time, and the sections definitely mimic that as well. So you're absolutely right that you can't find any comfortability. You constantly have to be on the lookout, be ready for the next section, for the next change. Next change of patterns. And this is such a unique tiebreaker. It's really, really interesting. And I'm so excited to see it on the very first match of the Catch World Cup. We already have a tiebreaker.
Yeah, really exciting. It's good to see the tiebreaker. Sometimes you go through a round of 32 and don't even see it, but good to get that out of the way immediately, make sure that we get pretty much every map guaranteed in this pool to be played. But it's going to be really exciting. And when I was walking into this match, especially like early on into this match, if you said it was going to go to tiebreaker, I would have told you that I expect Germany to kind of take it. But as far as consistency at the end of this match, Singapore has been absolutely outperforming Germany on a consistency level. They won the Nomad 1 and the Nomad 2 and took the Mixed Mod 1, which was kind of a consistency mixed mod. It was pretty close, but you had that double FC from Singapore, so I could see this going either way, but currently I think Singapore has the advantage.
Yep, they for sure do, and it's that consistency, and it's also the momentum that they're carrying here into the tiebreaker now, winning these last 3 maps. Hiang also feeling his absolute best as well, FCing those last 4 maps, and could even make it 5 for an unbelievable performance, but we'll have to wait and see. 6-minute tiebreaker coming up here now, mapped by Bunray. It's pretty tough. One of the toughest, if probably not the toughest map in the pool expectedly. Ooh. And is that an early miss?
It looks like it. Just
I think
didn't
it
hit
is.
didn't hit the hypers and had a little bit of a chain miss there, dropping really low early on, but a few misses before a 200 combo, not going to be as impactful. I've mentioned that a few times, and even through this, I'm surprised that the lead is not bigger.
Yep, and we have our first kind of swap out of songs here into, well, here comes another one as well. XF building that combo back up, and yeah, it's basically a nothing lead here for Germany. Was before everyone even reached 200, and yeah, as you said, the misses early on, especially in really long maps like this, won't affect things just as much. We'll really have to wait until the end here probably, as everyone's looking really, really nice to see who is actually going to take this.
Yeah, lots of genre changes already. We see a triple double S from Germany so far, and XF going to find another break. This one going to be a little bit more impactful now that everyone's hit that 200 combo. Hyang holding on to a double S as well. McButt with the FC, just a few droplet misses, but that entire lead right now just from the misses on XF's side. And Wonderlife is going to trade that though, so the lead's going to shrink a little bit and probably even out right around that 2,000 mark that we had been seeing for pretty much the entire rest of the chart up to those misses.
Yep, XF now with the advantage over Wonderlife in terms of combo, reaches 200, and it's maybe going to even dip a little below 2k here. It's actually going to essentially even out between the two teams. Will Singapore even take this one back? They might just do. Hyang and McButt, who has come in for the first time in a while as well. Don't think we mentioned still holding onto those FCs, Lume and Marvel as well. But as I say that, Hyang drops the FC critically here for Singapore, and that is a big first drop for them.
Indeed, Marmel is going to trade that miss back though, so it's only one FC 2-1. Can be McButt and Lume, those top two players. And that is going to, it looks like, favor Germany extremely slightly. Maybe not even. This might just be straight up a tie game right now.
XF, though, will find another drop there, losing that combo. Hyang's back up above 200. Germany with around a one miss lead yet again, but this is staying so close. We're up until the halfway mark, and almost nothing has separated these two teams. I think this is the largest lead that any team has had on this map so far, and it's only 20k, but McButt, oh
the
no.
FC gone from Singapore, only one FC left on the board, and it is Lume, the player we pointed out early on in the match for being a force to be reckoned with, now the face of consistency for Germany, and the reason that they're holding on to a 30,000 point lead, as all three players on Germany now above 200. McButt just about there, and that score lead's going to even out just at around 31,000 for Germany here. Looks like about 2 to 3 misses of advantage for them here.
Yep, they are looking good, and that's going to increase even more. XF finding another drop. Germany slightly starting to pull away here now with the consistency. Wonderlife above 900, Marvmello almost above 700. A really intense section here where misses might come down, but it looks like everyone is holding on. Wonderlife now above a 4-digit combo. Hyang is building up, trying his best, but Germany is finding their form, finding their consistency when they need to.
Oh, and Wonderlife is going to find a break on one of those stream transitions there. Lead's going to shrink a little bit, but Germany should still have a little bit of cushion, a few extra misses on top of that. And XF and Marmelo are actually going to be trading there.
That is an important trade. Another big combo down for Germany. Hyang and McButt holding onto their combos nicely, but look at Lume, the shining beacon of hope for Germany. Up to 2,000 combo here now. That top player, Germany. McButt drops his big combo. XF above 200, but Germany on the back of Lume are starting to really pull away now. Not much map left to go. This is an unbelievable switch.
No!
No! Drops the
full
FC.
combo. We got a big spinner Germany should still have the lead here, but right before the break, Lume loses the full combo.
That is a very unfortunate drop.
We still have this ending here. The map's not over yet. It is only a couple of misses of advantage for Germany here as that lead starts to shrink a little bit. Lume finding another break, and that lead is shrinking more. All three players on Singapore are holding on really well here in this ending. Wonderlife and Marvmello holding on to the combo as well. Hiang trades that miss from Lume. It was getting a little bit close, but with that miss, it might just be enough for Germany to lock this one away and take the tiebreaker after such an incredible matchup. Germany looking in control of the match for the until they got to match point 4-1. Singapore mounting an incredible comeback, but Germany locking in when they needed to and holding on to survive in the winners bracket.
Yep, they move forward, and what a performance it was, especially from Lume, and actually really, really nice consistency, honestly, all around for all players. Getting pretty close in the end there. It was a really, really hard-fought battle for Germany. They had to work at their absolute best here. They really were under the pressure. Singapore had the momentum coming into the tiebreaker, but they were able to pull through. And here is your winner, everybody. Germany, the 13th seed, move forward into the round of 16, and Singapore drop down.
Yeah, luckily we don't have to say goodbye to Singapore. They put on a wonderful performance and will move down into the losers bracket, where they will try to make a great run. And if this match says anything, I think it tells us that Singapore is going to be a dangerous losers bracket team.
Yeah, they're honestly a real dark horse. They're only, they're not the highest of seeds, but they've shown today that they can work really, really well as a team. And I think they're going to be a little scary to face in the losers bracket. So good luck to them, as well as Germany, and I believe we'll go down for just a minute, and we'll be back up for the next match, which is going to be Indonesia and Vietnam, with me and you as well.
Yep, so we'll be sticking around, but like you said, the stream's going to go down for a minute, but we'll be right back getting ready for Indonesia versus Vietnam. We'll see you guys in a minute.